Welcome to Week 7 History. So for the past few weeks, we've been talking about different significant people of the Rydalmere area. And for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about Rydalmere itself. So I'm going to start with the acknowledgement of country. We at Rydalmere Public School acknowledge the Darug country, the Aboriginal country on which we stand. We thank you for sharing and caring the land we learn and play on. Together we will help look after the people, animals, and land we are on. We pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. We will always remember and never forget. So the earliest grant in the area of Rydalmere was to Philip Schaefer, who settled in Rydalmere in 1791. The district, which is all the different towns and suburbs within one place, is comprised of Rydalmere, Ermington, and Dundas, but this was initially called the Ponds because of all the natural features occurring above the Sebago Creek. So the Ponds and Sebago Creek is a joint river, and it's located northwest of the Sydney Harbour, which you can see there's a photo of it in the top left-hand corner. And by about 1800, the Ponds, which is Rydalmere, Ermington, and Dundas, became known as the Field of Mars because of Mars being the god of war and the military men that received land grants there. The Field of Mars spread more or less from Parramatta to West Ryde and up to Carlingford and Eastwood. The creek, which is shown in the photo, is also known as the Ponds and the Sebago Creek. It is followed by a walking track known as the Ponds, which some of you may have actually walked on along the river. So I've got a picture of what you can see when you start the Ponds walk, and it says, "The ponds, a name which I suppose is derived from several ponds of water which are near the farms." And this was said in 1789 by Watkin Tench. So the Sebago Creek Bushwalk is actually the last part of the Ponds Walk, which runs from Eric Mobbs Memorial Park in Carlingford through the Dundas Valley, Telopia and Rydalmere. This part of the walk through is just 1 kilometre one way. The creek then goes on to feed into the Parramatta River, and this is where you'll find the new Sebago Creek Cycleway, where you can ride your bikes, along Parramatta River that takes you around to Rydalmere Wharf. So the Aboriginal culture of Rydalmere. The Darug is the clan name for the indigenous people of the area. The Darug fashioned tools and spears for hunting animals and collected wild berries and plants as a valuable source of vitamins. The Darug had a close relationship with the river from which they caught fish, eels, and other food. Their canoes often carried a small fire in the middle, built on a pile of soil to allow them to cook their catch, whatever they caught in the river, nice and fresh. Firebrand farming was also practiced in the region. Soon after Governor Phillip's arrival with the first fleet of convicts from England in 1788, Parramatta was developed as a farming settlement to feed the new English colony, or the new people that have come here on Governor Phillip's first fleet. In the early 19th century, more positive developments occurred and the region became a meeting place for all different Aboriginal tribes, which are groups of people, from all the surrounding regions in Sydney. A big yearly feast of food was held by Governor Macquarie to encourage Aboriginal people to leave their children at a local school, but this focus later shifted to the Blacktown area. So on the right hand side of this page I've got a picture, and it's got the Darug country, the cultural boundary or the outline, which you can see in dark blue. That is this line here. And you can see that it encompasses all of the Cumberland area. You can see there's Pittwater, and you can see all the coast of Sydney just here. On the left hand side, this picture here, you can see the outline of Australia. So Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australia is made up of many different and distinct groups. Each one of these little coloured circles or shapes within this picture of Australia has their own culture, their own language, their own laws, and their own customs. So this map attempts to represent all the different languages and all the different groups of Aboriginal people in Australia. So as you can see, there is quite a lot of different Aboriginal groups within Australia. It shows the locations of the larger groups of people, which may include clans or individual languages. So the bigger circles here, like this pink one here, this blue one, all the bigger ones may also even have individual language within a group. So the naming of Rydalmere. Rydalmere was named by Thomas O'Neill when he purchased much of the acreage or the land of the Vineyard Estate, not occupied by the nuns, after it was put up for sale by the Roman Catholic diocese in 1877. Thomas O'Neill was born in Ireland in 1830, and he came with his parents to Australia when he was only young, and he finished his education here. After he finished his education, he left to go to California to work in the gold fields in 1849 and returned back to Australia in 1851. His whole trip made him become quite rich and quite profitable. He entered business with lots of energy and a strong work drive, which along with the sound of the commercial instincts allowed him to retire a very rich man in 1877. Rydalmere Railway Station, which is on the Carlingford line of the Sydney Trains network, opened as Victoria Road on the 20th of April in 1896. This train line had initially been privately owned, but by 1901 it was the government owned and was renamed Rydalmere on the 1st of August in 1901. This was an important time in Rydalmere's history, with the first school opening in 1891 and the first post office opening in 1888. Now we're going to talk about another significant site within Rydalmere, and it's the Female Orphan School. The Female Orphan School building is a key witness to some of the most significant social changes in Australian history. The building has shaped thousands of lives over the 200 years it has stood on the banks of the Parramatta River. So if you can see in the painting on the left-hand side, all the way at the back, you can see the big female orphan school. It is one of the very few surviving public buildings of its size, and it is predating even Hyde Park Barracks. The Female Orphan School is the oldest 3-story building in the whole of the country. The building stands on the traditional lands of the Darug people, the traditional owners of the Western Sydney area who maintain their deep connection to the land. And you can see the people in the wooden canoe in the river in the picture. So the Female Orphan School went from educating and accommodating orphan children to being a psychiatric hospital that hospitalized people that have mental illnesses. And then today the Whitlam Institute now occupies the building, which is what it looks like today in the left-hand side picture. And the Whitlam Institute is committed to ensuring that people can go and visit and pay their respects, and they can go on tours, and there's lots of different food places available in the Female Orphan School, and it is open for the public to appreciate and enjoy its rich heritage. So now the activities that you need to complete for this week is you need to list some of the historical sites in Rydalmere that we've spoken about, so the different places that we can go and visit. Number 2 is asking you to name the name of the Indigenous clan for the area of Rydalmere, and there was a whole slide on that, so that should be easy for you to find. And the last one, I want you to write one sentence of your favorite place in Rydalmere, and I want you to draw a picture to match. So it could be, you could be going down to the park and riding your bike. Maybe you like to go for walks along the river, the Parramatta River, whatever you would like to do. I want to see a picture of it to match your sentence.